Welcome back, everybody. I'm not even sure what I got myself into on this one. I've seen videos of them. I haven't done any research on them. The videos look like they're kind of fun, but then again, they also look kind of chintzy and cheap. So this is what we got, and the reason I picked this up is I just happened to be at the local hardware store, and I've been bored of everything lately, so I've been playing with construction equipment again. Though I have the RC steer loader from Double E. This thing was only $61 at the hobby store. I know they have it on Amazon too. I think I have it on in my cart on Amazon. But it's a 1/14 scale, and it's a really good looking piece of equipment. I'll give it that. I don't know if it's going to be worth anything, but it looks really nice. So I'm sitting here looking at it, and one of the things that kind of threw me off immediately was, well, I'll flip it over so you can see a little bit better on your side instead of reading it upside down. 3.7 volt battery. So this is only a one cell, so I don't know how strong this thing could actually be no matter what we do with a single cell battery. But I'm going to get it cut open. We'll have a look at it and see if it does anything. I expect there to be lots of clicking if we overdo anything, so let's look at it. Well, here this thing is out of its box in all of its plastic glory. It's not a bad looking model, but it is all plastic. I do not see any metal on this thing anywhere other than hardware. So the interior, so we can get past the glare here, looks to be a really good size interior for like a 3 3/4 inch figure. All the brooder figures should fit in here pretty good. If this thing's even worth putting a figure in, I don't know, it might be a static display model. Just depends if it does anything or not. Looks like in the back you have your screw right there. Looks like we might even have lights in there possibly. It does come with the one cell battery and charger. I do not see a little screwdriver in there. I've got one of my own here. Let's see what the back looks like. Okay, here's our compartment. And no, those lights will just be reflective from the sun, I guess. But you put your battery in here, and it is just a 2 leads, so if you want to change that out to a different style connector, you could. I do not know if there's any modifications for these. I haven't really checked them out yet. But it's just, looks all pretty basic. Hopefully it'll do something, but who's to say? Look like there are a couple of switches here. Like maybe you could, remove your bucket. Looks like possibly there might be other styles of buckets or adapters for this. I'm not even sure. We'll have to explore all that. It's got a decent amount of weight to it. It doesn't feel too bad. And here is our radio, and it's like your classic Huina style radio. These buttons are inactive. It looks like it has a demo mode. This should be to lift and raise the arms. This should be to lift and raise the bucket and drop it. And it has a slow and a fast speed for some reason. Sound on and off. And your regular steering controls. And it looks like it'll also just take 2 AA batteries. We can double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be going on here. I'm not even sure why I bought this thing. I just wanted to see what it could do, I guess. Yep, 2 1.5 volt batteries. So I'm going to put the battery in this thing, get it charged up. Let's take it out and see if it can at least move some loose dirt around. I do not have high expectations for its power, but it is a really nice looking model, so let's give it a fair chance. Oh, here we are now. Unfortunately, once the sound starts, you can't shut it off, but you do get a horn. Oh, let's see. Bucket up. It actually moves fairly quick. Bucket down, or arm down. Okay. Now that all looks like it works pretty good, right? Now here's what happens if you overextend it. The classic clicky noise. So I have to make sure I don't overextend it. but it does have enough power to lift the steer skid up. I was kind of surprised that it even had enough power to do that, if we're going to be honest. I wasn't expecting much out of a one cell. But it seems it might be alright on some loose dirt. I know it definitely is a good looking loader. So you got your forward, backwards, and this is in slow. I'm going to put it in fast. This should be fast. I'll put it back in slow. Yeah. And you got your steering. It actually doesn't steer or drive too bad. It's a kind of a quick little thing. Getting your proportions going to be right and knowing when to stop. But I think this little guy might be okay. Or at least for... Whoa! Almost drove it off the table. Tragedy almost happened before we got started. But at least for doing loose dirt stuff, it's a good size, so let's get it out and see if we can at least move around a little bit of loose dirt before we conclude our unboxing, testing, whatever we want to call it. Okay, well here we are. Hey, you're kind of lucky sneak peekers. I'm going to be starting a little construction course here. See if I can angle this thing down a little bit. Well, let's see. Well, I didn't get a whole lot that time. We'll see if we can lower down and steer it in some more. Yeah, we're getting a little bit. And with this thing, it does have that whole clicky thing, so we gotta watch out for that. So it will do only prepared dirt, and it's non-proportional, so it is a kind of a jerky little thing. But it is drivable. That does, when you're just barely tapping the button to get all that movement, this is just one 1 second tap. So it's kind of hard to get your angle right with where you're wanting to work. Hey, there we go, got a decent bucket load that time. We'll take that up. Now, I will say it is not as nice as my Die-Cast Masters 1/16 scale. My Die-Cast Masters 1/16 scale, though, is quite a bit slower than this, but I would say probably a lot more proportional. This one here is kind of a jerky little guy, but completely usable. I mean, it's not going to pick up any really heavy loads. And this is kind of a prepared dirt, but it's not super prepared. I just kind of put it in a pile, but it's not and it's fresh, so it's not dry, and it's still got a lot of moisture to it, so it's kind of probably a little harder for this thing to pick up. Whoa, I can only take that up that far. We met the click rating. Now, let's see, maybe we can get this thing back. I wonder if we can grade a little bit, pull a little bit out with the bucket maybe. There we go. So we'll tip the bucket down and put it down a little bit and see if we can just kind of drag it in reverse. Okay, so you can do some smoothing with that. This thing might benefit from a little bit of weight. Though I'm not unhappy with my purchase. For, I said it was $60. You really can't expect a whole lot for $60. So this is, I'd say probably worth that money. All right, guys, there's a little demonstration review of this little double E skid steer. It's not horrible. It obviously is not going to be as good as the bigger name brand stuff, the nicer stuff, but it's not horrible. If you're a kid, you could probably have a lot of fun with this, but as an adult even, it's completely drivable as a construction vehicle, especially if you're just wanting to have fun with it and you're not serious. All right, everybody, we'll see you on the next one. Here we go.